Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Oilers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Miami Dolphins and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at our home side as we interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. As we take a peek at their versatile quarterback, the Hawaii native and former Oregon Duck, Marcus Mariota.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Mariota. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The receiving numbers for Kenny Stills in last week's game. 5 catches, 55 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
They'll run with Drake. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
That's 2 really good stops in a row. Back-to-back tackles for losses. I mean, let's face it, they are locked into what they're doing offensively, and now they've earned the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, haven't they?
Yeah, and offensively they're going to have to do something else because the run game, at least on this drive, isn't working. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Throwing is Mariota. They'll set up the screen to Drake. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I know you've got a baseball background, right?
A little bit. Started minor league ball.
Yeah, you did some of that, right? What do they do when they do the signals? An indicator, right?
Tells you whether it goes or not, yeah.
Yeah, whether the play's on or not. How about the indicators offensive linemen give when they're getting ready to run a screen pass? And if those get red, well, we just saw that there, didn't we?
No gain.
No gain. Deciphered it and finished the play off.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Offensive starters, here they are. And Delaney Walker, Charles, it's a guy that you and I said we wanted to discuss a bit.
Yeah, and we should, because remember, he came out of college as a wide receiver, so he's one of the early guys to move from a wide receiver position to tight end and still run routes as if he were a wide receiver. An excellent target.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. Operating from the gun, Love. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. A look now at the Miami offense.
I remember when Laramie Tunsil was coming out of Mississippi and I was evaluating him for the draft in 2016. I ended up writing down a description that I tended to like, and I'm going to use it here now. He's got feet like a receiver. He's got a body like an offensive lineman and hands like a boxer. Put it all together, you got a heck of an offensive lineman.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
And they needed to be because their offense struggled throughout the game. Sometimes as a defense, you're not just shutting down the opposing team's offense, but you're outplaying their defense as well. And that's what they did in the last game.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And he finds Stills, complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process. First foray into the red zone for Miami. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. To throw, Mariota. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Malik Jackson in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Field goal forthcoming for Stephen Hauschka. And this a 39-yard attempt. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the Dolphins will jump out to a 3-0 lead. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create...
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Love. He gets it to Humphreys. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Credit the sack to the safety, Rashad Jones. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, it's our home team with possession. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. Bartney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Mariota. It's complete to Drake. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
22 yards there, a first down.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Go.
Now a handoff for Drake. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets them into a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Mariota. Got a man. It's Johnson. End zone for a Dolphins touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now.
Let's go now, let's go now, let's go now. 90, switch. That happens.
On 1st and 10, Love. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job. Keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now let's talk about Kenyon Drake. Now, the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
Yeah, he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. On the left side, this is Stills. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there. Off the play fake, Mariota. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Johnson, the intended target.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Looking to throw. Love. He doesn't need a lot of space for an electric run. He showed that there. Heck, they told us this week they were hoping he would break a big one. He just did.
And what did his offensive – I mean, remember we talked with the offensive line, and one of the guys, one of the stalwarts said, I don't even have to make a great block for him. If I just breathe bad breath on the guy in front of me, often that opens up enough space for him to go.
Extra point put through by Succop, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Time to look now with our spotlight at the quarterback, Marcus Mariota. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's an absolute joy to see, but let's face it, we got to give a little bit of credit where it's deserved, right?
Well, the protection's been great, if that's where you're going.
Yeah, protection's been phenomenal, but how about how it's been spotlighted, right? Our producer, Christian McLeod, our director, Kyle Burt, the rest of the crew, what they put together with these images and pictures, if you're an offensive lineman, that's what you're taking with you to contract time.
They're going to have a lot to take to contract time if this continues. Now left side on the swing pass. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Mariota. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Again, it's Mariota. Out to the right here to Wilson. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
7 yards there and a 1st down. On that quick throw, what do you think? Possibly something they saw at the line to go there?
Possibly in the game plan, and you notice they went with an empty backfield. No backs there to help with pass protection, so you have to have a counter to that because you know they're probably going to bring pressure when they see an empty backfield, so you get rid of the ball quickly. Quick drop, ball's out of the quarterback's hands, keeps it from getting hit, and they get a completion.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Give him a couple on the catch at 2nd and 8.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. On 3rd down, Mariota. It's complete. Stills. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's working on a string of 8 straight completions. Mariota again. He's going to let it go deep for the end. Got a man. It's Johnson. End zone. Touchdown, Miami. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Hauschka with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the 2nd. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and 8. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. first down. Love gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Suckup will put this one right through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. In the early games, a lot of good matchups, one being in Indianapolis. A tough one for the Colts, as they'll have to contend with the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. In the late afternoon games, it'll be loud in Kansas City, that's for sure, as it'll be the Chiefs taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And finally, Monday Night Football. They've got a good one lined up between the Atlanta Falcons and the LA Rams. In our game, it was Marcus Mariota with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And now out comes Houston. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. 2nd and 5. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 12 yards there and a first down.
They sure put the
midfield inside.
There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now Bernard. Flashy little move, but unable to reach the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. Xavier Howard up to make the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Love. That's complete. Bernard. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a fourth down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Succop's kick is good. And that will cut this lead back down to 4 now. It's 17-13. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action. Mariota. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in the cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team. Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Dolphins on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. On the give, this is Drake. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3 point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Love. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Christian Wilkins never giving up. He works his way to the QB for a loss of 12.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down.
Don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning the first.
Operating from the gun. Love. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Looking to throw on second down. Mariota, he gets it left side to Johnson. A gain of 13. It's a first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. A first down throw for Mariota. And Stills bringing it in. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call. That's on the former first-rounder from Ole Miss, Laramie Tunsil. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing, Mariota. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Mariota, catch made right side by Wilson. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. One quarter remains here on this Thursday night matchup. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. To the air again, Mariota. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a second down. From the gun, it's Drake. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. On 1st and goal, Drake. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And Stills has got it. Touchdown, Miami. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Throwing to start the drive. Love. Pass caught left side by Humphries. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive. 12 40-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
He finds Humphries. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st and 10, Love. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Christian Wilkins able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Christian Wilkins bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. From the gun, Love. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. On 4th down, Love. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
So now here come the Dolphins. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, fourth quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Check 26.
Here's Mariota. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. They'll run here with Balaj. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kalen Balaj. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. And nothing special there. They show they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Operating from the gun. Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2nd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say, and the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Looking to throw. Love. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, puts a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
On 4th down, Love. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And that is incomplete. Giovanni Bernard, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. That'll bring up 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Back to throw. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan with a sack. Looking to throw. Love. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the Dolphins, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the home team here, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Brandon Gaudin, next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.